Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Pierce, alongside of the whole squad, Jimmy, Reagan, and Schmitty. And we're going to talk about the Jake McCabe trade that happened earlier today, as well as Jack Johnson being traded to the Colorado Avalanche. But there was just some breaking news now that Riley Stillman has been traded to the Buffalo Sabres for forward Josh Bloom, who I've literally never heard of.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he'll bloom in Vancouver.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I guess you could say Riley is not staying still, man. He's going 13 this year.
Pierce, you really pulled that one out, huh?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a
Buffalo fans were like, make a move, make a move, make a move. Kevin Adams was like, oh, I hear you. We got you. Literally, like David Poyle's leaving, and like someone steps up to take his place of trading for a bum at the deadline. Like, oh, we can't get Erica Branson this year. Let's go get Riley Stillman. Because that's going to be a needle mover on the back end for sure.
Hey, if that is Owen Powers or Rasmus Dahlon's new defensive partner.
The new anchor.
Oh my God. Nightmare.
Yeah, any Buffalo fans that listen have a lot of fun with Riley Stillman, which you won't, but try to. That's all you can really do.
Hey, that one time he had like 5 points in 5 games, so he must be good.
I don't remember that. What the hell was that?
Yeah, sure, dude. Sources. You talking?
No, like 2 years ago he did, but whatever.
I cannot remember that.
But
anyways, let's move on.
He scored a big goal in the Memorial Cup, so he can't be that bad.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, not many players do that, Pierce.
Oh yeah. If it was in the Memorial Cup, why was it not Memorial? How come I don't remember it?
Yeah,
anyway.
That's a good question, Pierce.
Ben Pope just tweeted out Riley Stillman's Vancouver tenure did not really work out. The Blackhawks getting Dickinson in a second-round pick for him looks more and more larcenous.
It always was.
Yeah, it was to begin
with. But Dickinson's bad, guys. That's what
the fact that he got a second, the fact that the Hawks got a second-round pick with these players swapped, that was always larceny. You got a second-round pick from a team that's going to finish low in the standings, basically for free. And guess what? You also have a very good roster player that you can easily flip next year, or you can hold on to him while you get better.
You literally could have done a Dickinson for Stillman swap, and I'm like, yeah, that's a win right there. But they got a second-round pick for a mediocre ass team. That's not
the fucking Canucks from the basement Canucks.
Let's talk about the Jake McCabe and Sam Lafferty to Toronto trade. Now, you told me at the beginning of the season that Jake McCabe and Sam Lafferty would fetch a first and a second round pick. Respectfully, I would have told you to take a hike. But deleting like weeks, days, whatever to the trade deadline, looking at I think the trade, it's an all right trade, but just hearing everything, you saw the trade yesterday, the Tanner Jeannot trade, I can't just help but feel they could have maybe got a bit more for McCabe and Lafferty, especially retaining half on McCabe.
Hey, we got Joey Anderson. What are you worried about?
Oh, you're right. And Pavel Gogolev, who is like over point per game in the ACHL. Yeah. And you know what? That helps with Indy Fuel. How does this affect the Indy Fuel?
That's Reagan's question.
It helps them a lot because they were first in the division all season, and now they've dropped down to third, and they can't seem to win a game.
He's going to rekindle the offense.
Players, though.
What?
Hasn't Rockford called up all their players, though, from Indy? Is that why?
Yeah, pretty much all of our best players are in Rockford right now. So this past weekend was not a very fun weekend for the Fuel. Hockey was played. I don't really want to talk about it other than
sticks and pucks and skates.
We are a team.
So yeah, Pavel Gogolev has 48 points in 33 games for the Newfoundland Growlers of the ECHL, and according to our good Twitter friend Brody, it was ranked on Steve Dangle's Tier 4. I cannot talk. Goodness.
Prospect pyramid.
Yeah. There we go.
Pyramid.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
So yeah, they got him, and they also got Joey Anderson. I mostly think those are the players just to help out with like contracts, 2 contracts in, 2 contracts out. But I don't know much about Joey Anderson. Jimmy, being the resident Leafs fan, what can we expect from Joey Anderson? Is he just?
Oh man, I hate this. Like Joey Anderson is either not very noticeable or he just doesn't often play in the games that I watch. He isn't really the most consistent Leaf. Pierce, I actually go more with what you have to say. I think you actually kind of nailed it. It's more just contracts coming in and out. I didn't know much about Gogolev. I Leafs prospects I don't keep up nearly as much as the Hawks ones, but I looked up his tape. He's got a great.
They suck. That's why. Get owned.
He's no Cole Gutman.
Yeah, he's not exactly. He's no Cole Gutman. He's no Brett Seney, former Marley.
28-year-old Brett Seney or whatever.
Did Joey Anderson snipe the puck like Brett Seney? Didn't think so. Checkmate there, Leafs fan.
But I think that's a bit more contracts in and out. Gogolev again. There's some skill there, but you look at his production, hasn't really done anything besides using the ECHL. Granted, the Marlies have kind of put him down there just out of space reasons. Roster space reasons. But I don't think he'll be much more than an AHL guy, which that's good and great,
Hey, that helps out the Rockford Ice Hogs because you look at his stats for the Marlies, he's pretty much a point per game, 14 goals, 13 assists for 27 points in 30 games. On the Maple Leafs this year, he had 2 goals and assists for 3 points. Again, I don't know. I mean, the Blackhawks are going to need players because
he's a
few games.
Gogolev is here's a guy for the minors. If he turns into something great, yeah, I
wouldn't. Waivers, he'll play with the Ice Hogs and help make them better.
It gives them roster flexibility at the end of the day. Like if they want Rockford to have that playoff push, they can send down Seney and Gust if needed, or they can send Joey Anderson down and keep Seney and Gust up and let them have NHL games. Like just gives them more roster flexibility, in my opinion, because like they're gonna need bodies for the last 25 games. It's just the way it is. Like, I'm pretty sure they haven't even announced the lineup tonight because they don't know who's playing. Like, Anderson's flying in now. Kershev's sick. Like, they might not even ice a full roster tonight because they're so intriguingly banged up or resting people. But, yeah, that's just – I think it's just for, I would think Joey Anderson gets NHL games, like a couple. Like, why – he should at least. Like, what the fuck – what else are you going to do? I mean, send him down, but – before you set him down, at least give him a crack. Like,
that's just cap friendly being cap friendly. But they said Ben Pope had mentioned that Anderson is en route and may play tonight. But like you said, yeah, they have
he'll probably play tomorrow in Arizona. I'd have to imagine.
I did not know that his brother's Mikey Anderson of the Los Angeles Kings, and he just got a giant-ass contract.
I do. I remember that because everyone talked about Joey more than Mikey, and Mikey ended up being better. I do remember that because Joey was like captain of the World Junior team or something. So, that always translates.
Yes. Well, it's like we always say, it's all about.
Pretty sure he was captain of the team that DeBrincat wasn't on. Don't quote me on that, but I'm almost positive it was that team.
2018.
Oh, year after then. Never mind. Year after. But still. Like... Kid was a high prospect once upon a time, or at least noticeable. But
which means he'll be good now.
Yeah, clearly he'll have a Sam Lafferty resurgence, and then we'll trade a first for him next year.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they could turn into another Sam Lafferty and just keep that going, of finding guys like that.
Dude, it's just like trading for a bag of pucks. That means you got a bag of pucks. Like, for God's sake, they got a breathing body for Jack Johnson. I would.
The fact they even traded him, I would have been fine for future consideration.
And according to some Avs fans, they're pretty pissed that they traded Engelland. So, cool.
I don't even think he's that good. I can't believe we got a whole country for Jack Johnson.
I know, man. Cool. I can't believe the Queen really fell off like that. That's crazy.
Bro, she really let her country get traded to the Chicago Blackhawks
for future considerations. That's tough.
I was gonna say, Queen dies and then just lets the entire country get taken by an NHL team. That's very sad.
Not even like an NFL team, no, an NHL team.
Yeah, fucking niche.
Kind of pathetic,
very sad.
But
hey, two Tenordis. We have 2 guys.
2 Tenordis. Let's go.
2 guys just fuck people up.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, Jack Jones
season.
Right.
Oh no, we can only just have to give Caleb Jones more ice time and Nikita Zaitsev. Oh well.
And then Libor Hayek and Ben Harper when they come here from New York.
I mean Zach Jones, buddy. Whatever.
Why not all 3 of them?
All your defensemen.
Whatever.
Just put them on a forward line. You know what? Play 3 defenseman and 2 forwards.
And then Braden Schneider got room for one more.
No, they're not getting Braden Schneider. If they get Braden Schneider,
I will literally eat my shit.
No, I will twerk on
Not
that.
happening.
on stream.
Yeah,
I will
it's
twerk
not
on
happening.
stream.
Like,
All us 3 boys
Dude.
can work on stream.
if biggest Blackhawk optimist Barstool Teeth is telling people to fucking temper expectations, this return's going to be abysmal. So just don't even
Oh no, I think we
don't even entertain
yeah,
stuff like
no.
that because it's not even worth it.
You get a
We were
second.
like, oh, they might get a second in Krausoff and Jones. And
They might even.
They
I don't even think they're getting a second.
traded Krausoff. They would be even lucky to get a second round pick now.
If they get a conditional second, I'm happy. That's at this point. That's what it is.
From a hockey perspective, I would just, if I'm Davidson, just leave it alone. I would have left it alone a little while ago. You don't need to trade the guy.
No, you do though, because this is now ownership's kicking in, and they're saying they want hit. Like, I'm sorry, Jimmy. Like, you may hate the guy, but you gotta not at least 100% burn the bridge on the way out.
No.
You got to at least fucking do something that he wants. Sorry.
Yeah.
The guy wants to go, and that's the only place he wants to go. He's fucking going.
You gotta fulfill his
Sorry.
wishes.
He
I
earned
only
that
mentioned it
contract. He
because-
earned that no move clause. He earned sitting through 5 years of bullshit. Like, honestly, I don't feel bad. Like,
5 years. Really,
I was being generous.
That whole contract was mediocrity.
But I mean,
and that's not his
he
fault.
hasn't
That's
decided
not
if he wants to go yet. He hasn't decided if he wants to go yet necessarily. That's why I think he's not sure. And he says, no, you don't. Like we talked about it last episode, Davidson shouldn't have picked at that scab as much as he did. I'm just kind of, I don't know. If the return's not there, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's
If
past that
it's
point.
Dude, you're past
He wants to
you're
go.
past the point of no return now. Like it's gonna happen. You get what you get, and you move on.
yeah.
Anyways, again, we can ramble about the whole
Yeah.
campaign. But I wanted to kind of to finish up on the McCabe and Lafferty to Toronto.
Jake
Sure,
McCabe's
but-
getting playoff hockey.
Yeah,
We
Fine.
talked about that. Yeah,
it's so awesome. Yeah, almost 30 years old and hasn't played in a single playoff game. He's in his
He's gonna
run.
lose in the first round. That's tough.
I mean, you see Kyle or Charlie Romelio, he's like, yeah, Kyle Davidson making a big brain move by trading Jake McCabe and Sam Lafferty to Toronto so they can get a Tampa first round loss and maybe get a 25th pick instead of the 32nd pick, I guess.
Ooh.
Which, by the way, it's a shame that either Tampa or Toronto is going to go out in the first round. Like, it's crazy how
That should be a
He says it's crazy how the standings are, like how they do the playoffs and all that stuff. It's just there's any indication of to change that. Not only hearing from your star players saying Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby, you speak out about nothing, that you should go back to 1 through 8. You should probably this year should probably be.
You're literally your
I'm
two
not-
biggest stars in the league.
Not trying to be that guy, but like if it's 1 through 8, it'd be the exact same playoff matchups in the East. So like that
But-
argument is redundant right now. But like I
But
get
the
where you're
thing-
coming from.
yeah,
but
but
like
the
if
thing
you're
is
gonna
we
bitch about
can-
it this year, it's the exact same. So
Mhm.
like,
But then
suck
you
it up
also
and win
gotta
more
you
games, in
can
my
still
opinion.
move up the standings though and get more points. It's
Yes.
you're basically locked in Toronto, Tampa right now.
Mhm.
At least 1 through 8, you can move up.
Suck it
a
up
bit.
and win 10 in a row and change it. Like I'm
Yeah.
serious. Like I'm at that point with this bitching by other teams. Like I've seen other teams go through this exact same playoff format and win Stanley Cups. I don't have sympathy for these
The
people.
Blackhawks.
The
did.
Lightning have won 2 back-to-back fucking cups through this system. The Pittsburgh Penguins won back-to-back cups through this system. Like I
Dude, the
don't have
Capitals-
sympathy for these fuckers.
Dude, the Capitals.
Figure it
We
out.
ran into Pittsburgh again. We ran into Pittsburgh again. We ran into Pittsburgh again, and then we beat them. And we
Dude,
won.
you know who has the right to complain about this shit? Like Carolina and Boston, and you don't hear them complaining about it. Like I don't want to hear it. Sorry.
Oh
Like,
yeah, anybody who complains about it for we didn't win. It
it's
was,
the
you know,
system. Like
it's the. I was gonna say it's
1
the
through 8, we would have
it's
been
the
different.
system.
Like no, shut up.
No,
We
it's
wouldn't.
no. I think a fan should have the right to be pissed off because it takes away fun hockey.
Yeah.
Takes away better matchups. I don't think it should be a scapegoat for losses, but yeah,
That's where I get hung up on. Like I get
Yeah.
the legitimate like gripes with it.
Mhm.
But if you're gonna blame your whole season on the playoff format, oh my god, just
yeah, that's
fucking
something.
go
want
pick another sport to
fans
watch at
talk
this
about
point.
that. It
Jeez.
drives me nuts. It's like, can we just admit that the team just is not there in the head? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's nothing to do with the system. But that, yeah, I digress. And I think we all should.
Oh well.
Anyways, McCabe and Lafferty on the Leafs. I think that's a great fit. Like
I've been saying it for a while, man. I've been saying it for a
I
fucking minute.
thought Ryan O'Reilly and Achari, like that would have been a good enough pickup for the Leafs, but the fact they go out and get Lafferty and McCabe too, with McCabe half retained, they're gonna have a legitimate top 4 defenseman making $2 million against the cap for this season, the next season, and then you have Sam Lafferty next year for one more year at 1.1 and change. Like I think that's a great trade for
Great, man. Round out the bottom 6, flesh out the defense. Fuck, dude, this is exactly what I've wanted them to do. I didn't think they were going to get Ryan O'Reilly on top of this, but this ended up being on top of Ryan O'Reilly.
They've gotten a whole new starting 5 worth of players this year. They've gotten O'Reilly, Achari, Lafferty, and then they got McCabe and Timmins. Like those are 5 very good additions, and then that's not even include like that's just midseason additions. I'm talking. Anyone who tries to tell you Kyle Dubas is a bad GM, I won't hear it. I'm sorry. This guy kept Matthew Nice through all this, and it didn't seem like that was possible. On top of that, he kept every other top prospect too, which I think he should get some credit for. Oh no, he doesn't have 2 first-round picks that are going to be like 25. Dude. Who cares? Like, and he got McCabe at half retained for 2 years, which I don't think people realize yet. Like, I think people are thinking it's 1 year. No, 2 more years at $2 million,
and the rest of the season, like 2.25,
3 playoff runs at $2 million. That's how you need to look at that contract. Like,
yeah, like the Maple Leafs, you're at a point now, like maybe a few years ago, be like, okay, we need that first round pick. No, you are at a point where you have to win, because if you don't win, like even with Dubas, he's done everything he can to assemble a great team. If they lose, it's on the players, but he's going to get fired because this is the last year of his contract. They have to win. They have to beat the Lightning. Again, you can argue all you want about the whole playoff thing, but the reality is you have to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning to get past the first round. And if you get past the first round, you're going to have to face the Boston Bruins to get past the second round. They have built a good enough team to get past both teams. You have to win. And if they lose, like that's not Dubas's fault. That's the players just not pulling their weight again.
What else is new?
Yeah.
Like, and you know what? It's great because, like, if Dubas doesn't get that extension, some teams get to pick him up immediately. Mm-hmm. So, like, I've already seen Sens fans like, hey, listen, if they don't want to re-sign Kyle, he can come right down the street and fix this tire fire.
Can't blame him either. Like,
can't
blame him.
No, can't blame him at all.
And then that too, like Matthews is going to be UFA soon. Same with Nylander. Like, this is
the only saving grace I have for that Hawks trade is that you got the first round pick the year after Matthews and Nylander are up. So we'll know like 2 years down the line. I don't know what that team looks like. It's 2 years down the line. Like,
and especially if they lose in the first round again, who knows? Who fucking knows? So
it's a good bet.
I'm not entertained. Yeah, it's a good bet.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that Davidson said that he could have got it earlier first, but
I believe it. Yeah.
And I also think it's interesting that he wanted to group McCabe and Lafferty in a trade together because he said that he was shopping them both in a package. It wasn't separate.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. Why
McCabe got the first round pick for the half retain, and then Sam Lafferty got you the second round pick. That's
100%.
Still great. I would say you get a second for each one.
That's the value he wanted for him.
Mm-hmm. Like, and the retention on McCabe doesn't mean anything to you the next 2 years. It helps you. So
yeah. Your $50 million in cap space now became $48 million.
Oh no!
Congratulations. Actually, I lied. It's now 52 because technically that would have been a part of the. Yep. So you still need to sign people. Trade for Bobrovsky.
Yeah, dude, freaking just extend Domi and Athanasiou. Like you've got a second round pick from Ottawa. You got your first and your second from Toronto. Like you're gonna get probably maybe a third for Kane. Like you've got the draft picks in places you need to keep some players around for next year. Max Domi openly loves playing in Chicago. He loves being a Blackhawk. I do not care how much you pay him for. Don't give him 8 years though, but give him like 5 or 6 years. Give him $6 million per annum.
You can go 6 times 6, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. No, just because of the way this team's salary is going to be structured going forward. Like, if this was like 5 years ago, yeah, that's a little much. But they have no one besides Jones locked up. You got to sign someone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Atanasio as well. Give him 2-3 years, like I don't know, 3-4
Slap a
million.
3x3. 3x3 seems like 3x3, 3 times 2, 2.5.
3 by 3, 4 by 4. I don't know, like because you're
Oh,
gonna have to. Like for what the cap is, you should overpay a couple guys, and might as well overpay the guys that want to be here. So
Mhm.
That's true.
Today, on today's
Oh,
show, we debate whether Athens should get 3 or 4 million. Let's have a lengthy conversation
he
about
gets
this.
1.3.
I think it's 1.89. It's got to do the number thing.
Unless by the grace of God they get like a first round pick for Max Domi. I just don't think any second round there. Just keep him, man. It'd be different if he was like 32, 33. This guy turns 28, I think, in a couple of days. Like if you sign him 5-6 years, he's gonna be 33, 34. And he's on pace for his second best offensive season.
He's gonna get 60 points this year.
It's a Jurassic Park situation. Just because you could doesn't mean you should. Yeah. And Domi can get a first round pick. I think he absolutely could get a first and more. Like he's had a great year. He was the Hawks All-Star this year for sure. Don't care who went. He's been their best player far and far throughout.
I don't know, man. Certain 6'4" defensemen getting paid $9.5 million would say otherwise. It's actually Jack Johnson. We're kidding. Anyways.
But no, I don't think you should. I think you get more value in keeping the guy around, and he'll be an assistant captain for sure. Maybe even give him the C in a couple of years. I don't know. It'll be Seth Jones. Seth Jones. I know.
Seth's getting the C unless a certain 98 from Regina is playing for us. That's my
or 91
opinion.
From
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That one.
Maybe. We're bringing Jack Johnson back. We're making him captain. Jujhar Khaira's getting the A. Let's go. Run it back.
No, I think Big Ben Harper should be the captain when he comes over from the Rangers.
I don't know. Nikita Zaitsev looks like A material.
He doesn't have the A in his name for nothing.
Oh, jeez. I can't wait to see his first game as a Hawk. It's gonna be. I think he's gonna get his first game against Dallas most likely, and he's gonna get walked.
That's what we need, though. That's what
he's gonna look at Tinordi and be like, "What is this?" Tinordi's gonna be like, "I don't know. This is why I get in fights and break my jaw, so I don't have to play."
Yeah, I'd rather be in the emergency room than play for the.
Yeah, I'd rather drink out of a straw for 3 months than play for the Hawks or whatever.
I'd rather have all my meals be smoothies than play for the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah,
real.
I guess so. Well, yeah, a great trade for the Maple Leafs. Like again, low hanging fruit. Maple Leafs, LOL, 1967, haven't won a playoff series in almost 20 years, but. They needed to go all in, and this is about as well as you can go in. Like I'll go all in, and if they lose, like that's not Dubas' fault. That's because someone making $11 million, and that could be 3 different players, did not show up. And they have all the help, all the support. They have literally everything set up to succeed. Don't care if they're playing Tampa Bay. Beat Tampa Bay. They're good enough. As for the Blackhawks, again, like at the beginning
start
of the season,
losing.
Yeah. Yes. Leafs start winning. Hawks start losing.
Lafferty, McCabe, no, none of them on that team. That's definitely going to help that case. But I think they could have gone a bit more, but it's not the worst trade.
He got his 1, he got his 2. I may disagree with what years he got him, but he got him. So
and
spread the wealth.
And you have at least 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years. Yeah, they might not make all those picks. They could trade that first-round pick for a player that they want or anything else. Like it gives the whole thing of this rebuild is to get assets, get bullets in the chamber, and they got that with that trade. Even if it wasn't maybe the max value I thought they could have got. Anyways. Let's move on to a trade where a team did maximize a player's value.
Oh boy!
Okay, Tanner Jeannot to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Before we saw the return, everyone was like, "Oh, that's the worst Tampa Bay trade ever." It is. It really is. And is it an overpay? You bet it is. Well, this is Tampa. This is
The
a Tampa
first
Bay
pick
line.
is an overpay. The second pick is an overpay. The third one is. The fourth one's about value. The fifth one's not needed, but they're all there. So who gives a shit?
This is
Don't
a Tampa
forget
Bay
Cal Foote.
Lightning we're talking about. This team has gone to the three straight Stanley Cup Finals, and would we honestly be surprised if they won their third and fourth years? No, I wouldn't be.
And he's gonna get the Game 7 game winner. He's gonna have his Nick Paul, and everyone's gonna look like an idiot. That's why I'm not gonna criticize this trade.
No, that's the thing.
And they're gonna sign him to like a 6
No,
times
no, no,
2,
no,
and
no, no.
everyone's gonna get pissed. Like I'm.
No, it's
I've seen this-
Tampa. It's Tampa. It's Tampa, yes. But you didn't need to do all that. You can get Jeannot. I completely agree with that choice. Nobody was even close to outbidding you. No one was giving anything near what you were.
Multiple
Their
GM
asking price was
on the
2
floor.
first, so the market must have been at least like enough to ask for that. Let's put it
I
that way.
just Tanner Jeannot? Tanner fucking Jeannot?
Never
Really?
underestimate big hockey man.
Like what are we doing?
See,
It's
like you're getting
2023,
so
I'm
frustrated,
scrolling
but
up on
he's
the
literally
tall
going to be the
guy.
Alex Killorn replacement. He's going to get 50 points next year, and all of us are going to look dumb.
Still not worth the first through fifth. Like, come on. God
It's
damn
pick
it.
32.
Oh man, Jimmy, I would have
I did not think Tanner Jeannot was going to be the one that breaks Jimmy. This is crazy.
No, it's fucking no. I thought it was gonna break me because I'm like, oh my god, they got Jeannot for pennies in the dollar, and he's gonna become way more than pennies in the dollar. He can't ever be this. I don't give a shit. They win the cup. I'm sorry. I'm not looking at that trade and going, oh yeah, no, that's a good trade now. No, it was always a bad trade. You just
Well, that's
got
the
a good
whole
piece out
point,
of
though.
it.
They're the Tampa Bay Lightning. They didn't have to make this trade, but they can because they've won so much. Trade a
If
first
I
for
have-
Barkley Goodrow.
They have
I don't
everything
have-
locked up. They don't
Mhm.
need those picks. Like,
No,
If I have a house, right, and I have one brick left on that house, and there are plenty of bricks out there, but I like this brick for some reason a lot, and I give a guy $1,000 for it. Well, he fixed the house. He made the
Hey.
house, but he made
Hey.
$1,000 fucking dollars to do it.
hey,
It's
here's
still
the
a bad
thing.
trade.
Here's the
It's a bad
thing. Here's the
trade.
thing. Here's the thing. It could be that stupid $1,000 brick you're talking about, but when the house it's getting put on is a fucking $20 million mansion, it doesn't fucking matter
It
at
is
that
not.
point. That's all I'm trying to say. Like,
Well,
if this
they're
is
better-
literally
they're
any
affordable.
other team in the NHL,
No, it's
I'd
still-
be
it's
killing
a
them just as much
bad-
as you are. But this is the one team that literally has their whole top 9 locked in for 5 years. Everyone except Hagel is
their
locked
whole
in for
top
5
four,
years.
the best
They-
goalie in the game of hockey.
Whole
Still a bad
backend's locked
trade.
up.
It's still such
Best
a
goalie
bad
in hockey is
trade.
locked up for 5 years. They can afford to make a move like this. Any other team makes this move, I'm saying the same shit. Tampa makes it? No, they can afford to make a move like that.
I would have said this about the Hawks in 2015-16. I stupid fucking. You listen, he will be great. He's gonna be Nick Paul. He's gonna piss me off. He's
God,
gonna
he
beat
is
the
so
Leafs in
getting
the
5
first round.
goals against the Leafs round
I
one.
know that.
Like,
I know that. I've been there. I know that.
I've been there.
You can't scare me with the void when I've stared into it, okay? Like,
I can still
I know
scare
what's gonna happen. It's just a fuck. I thought it was good for hockey because I'm like, oh, we're gonna do this now. Like, we're gonna go fucking throw everything at the wall. And then no, it's just the first and second. Oh, big for Lafferty and McCabe. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just fucking Breezeball had a fucking aneurysm, I guess. I don't know.
I'm sorry, like you guys are you're getting hung up on 5 pick, dude. It's a 4th and a 5th. Like, if it was like a first, a second, a first, a second, and a third,
It's
yeah, I'd
the
be flipping my shit.
principle of it all.
It's a 4. I'm sorry, any pick past a second is just a crapshoot in my opinion. So
No, it
You want a
is.
second round pick that's being
It
better. This
is,
team
but
is
you
gonna
don't
be
have to give up the crap shoots for him. Like that's like Tanner fucking Jeannot, dude. Tanner goddamn Jeannot.
uh,
I wasn't expecting you to have this meltdown. I'm like, My whole thing with the trade is, yes, it's an overpayment. I think Julian Breezewell would even tell you that, but the types of players they have acquired the past few years at the deadline, that's Coleman, Gaudreau, Hagel, and now Jeannot.
Nick
These
Paul.
aren't Nick Paul, that too. Like, these aren't your Nikita Kucherovs. These aren't your Braden Points. These aren't your Steven Stamkos, but they fit in perfectly. The Tampa Bay Lightning have an identity. Those players fit it. Julian Breezewell goes out and gets exactly what he wants, and all they do is go on deep playoff runs. That's how I see the trade. Yeah,
I think the reason Jimmy's so pissed is deep down he's just mad that David Poile made one last good move on the way out. I think it's really that David Poile actually made one last good move on the way out.
I could give a shit ass about David Poile. I didn't even know he was the GM. I thought he was fired. I was like, oh, good for Trotz. That's fucking insane. Good job. It's a fucking nuts trade. Like, it's.
I don't even know how to end off on that. That was so great.
All I know is Tanner Jeannot is so going to be the next Alex Killorn on the Lightning.
No, it's the worst thing because it culminates in this like bout of anger for me because I hate how ridiculous the trade is, and I know how much fucking flack I'm going to eat for it in like 2 months or one or the fuck we are now. Like, oh my God, it's
Tanner Jeannot hat trick first game as a Bull. They put him with like Stamkos or some shit in the top.
Oh no, it's gonna be he's gonna do everything that Paul did and more. It's gonna be fucking great. I can't wait.
I just did not expect that Tanner Jeannot was the breaking point. This is insane.
Yeah, not all the
Breaking
disappointing
point.
exits.
When was I put together?
Okay. Okay. That was... Oh man, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the Timo Meier deal now.
Nah, that's just more of a wet fart. Just you just don't want to talk about it. It's just weird. You're like, oh really? You did that?
You could describe that as like everything Mike Greer's done so far
No,
since he
really.
with the Sharks, but
A lot of it, yeah.
I mean,
Like Zetterlund, I don't know much about him, Schmitty. So you give me the rundown.
he's a third liner
He's
that
a what?
plays defense.
Oh,
He's
okay,
young.
that's great.
They got a whole
No, but
bunch-
like the defenseman they got, I like Mook. He's like
Uh,
6'5" and can actually skate. So
That's
a good-
Shakir. I would butcher his last name.
Yeah, I just call him Mook. But
Shakir Makula Doolin, I believe is
yeah. He's like, if you watch his tape, that's a big defenseman. He could skate. Like,
Okay.
that's a solid pickup.
Okay, fine, you got that, but then you got a maybe, and then a maybe, and then a maybe.
The reason, and this is me like talking way too early, but just in terms of value right away, I like the Rinka trade more than this because you get quantity, sure, but you didn't get a 7th overall pick. You didn't get anything near the lottery. I feel so dumb for a second. Yes, the Devils, of course. They're not finishing anywhere near the lottery this year. They're not. And maybe next year it happens.
They're in the NHL.
Hmm?
They're third in the NHL, the Devils.
Yeah, oh yeah, okay, there you go. Yeah, I knew they were top in the Metro, but I wasn't. Yeah, they're third in the whole fucking league. You're not gonna get a high pick from that draft or from that. High pick from them at all. So it frustrates me looking at this just from a hockey fan's perspective because Timo Meier is one of the best wingers in the entire league. You should be getting 2 firsts and an A prospect, and that's where you start. And maybe you circle back to that, but that's where you start.
I mean, they technically
Okay.
did, but
I agree, but like, I'm just gonna be honest. After ever since the Jack Eichel trade,
Mm.
which is probably the biggest move that we've seen so far from like a trade perspective, even he didn't get an A prospect. Like, I'm just saying they don't move as easy as you think they do. Like Boquist moved in the Jones trade, but is Boquist an A prospect?
no, he's
It's like B plus.
Well, that's what the Sabres got.
Doc would have been an A prospect
Yeah.
if he moved in that trade.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. They just don't move in trades. Like, for God's sake, Bo Horvat got moved for what? Like, I don't think Atu Ratu's an A prospect.
Ratsu, yeah.
Like,
No.
that's like
luck,
another big move. Like, they
You
just
have a
don't
point.
move.
Yeah, I just feel like at what point, because Meyer's been doing this year in, year out. We know what he's capable of. I just don't see what, if he's not worth putting an A prospect in there, who the fuck is.
Dude, Alex DeBrincat couldn't even fetch an A prospect. They got a top 10 pick for him, which was probably the closest you can get to that.
Now they probably arguably do have it.
And Frank Saravalli was right in hindsight. Like, Timo Meier was never fetching an Alex DeBrincat return. He was right. You got 2 late firsts and 2 mid prospects. Like, you got the Hagel return.
No, it was so ridiculous seeing people. They're like, well, how are you going to criticize this? And yet DeBrincat got da-da-da-da-da. Dude, DeBrincat got a 7th overall pick. You're not sniffing
and
that
36th overall pick, if I recall, or something.
Yeah,
38. I think it was 38.
Solid value. It's good value.
Yep.
I would take that any day of the week over Meier.
Well, like, if that's what you're going to get for your top winger, like, if that's what the market is, then
it's funny. The more you mention that, the more I'm just thinking maybe they just value wingers different nowadays. Because let's look back like 5 years. This is an easy dunk for a first round with an A prospect, a B+ high end prospect.
Well, like, I'm just like, okay. I'm trying to think. Like, even Erik Karlsson when he got moved, right? Like, Josh Norris wasn't an A prospect at the time. He was a first round pick. He wasn't an A prospect. Like,
yeah, okay.
Erik Karlsson.
You have a point. I've been under.
I agree. They should move more. It would make things
so.
easier. Like, for God's sakes, the Kings would have Jacob Chitrin right now if they would part with Brant Clark. But I understand not wanting to part with Brant Clark. That's just that's the NHL we live in now.
Well, then if that's the case, then more NHL teams should be trying to trade for those kind of players if that's the price it takes to get them.
Yep. That's why I give guys like Kyle Davidson credit, or Kyle Dubas credit, because he didn't trade for Matt Nice. That's his A prospect. He didn't trade him, and he probably had multiple cases where he probably should have, but he didn't, and he came out with 2 good trades. Like, I give Tom Fitzgerald probably the most credit out of all this. Like, the writing's been on the wall to get Meier for 2 months now, and he still took him to the Coles on the trade. Like, I get it. Mike Greer's a young GM, but like, hey, who knows? Maybe Meier doesn't sign. They missed the playoffs in 2024 or some shit, but they make the conference final in 2023. So then you get that second first. That changes everything.
Yeah.
But it seems really hard that they're going to get that
long shot. Like
it's a long shot.
Right. Yeah.
And it's a gauntlet of an Eastern Conference this year. Like, there's no other way around it. Like,
Dude.
They would get the Rangers round 1, and then if you're lucky, you're going to get like Buffalo round 2. But you're probably going to get Carolina. So
yeah, Buffalo
or the Islanders. Like, you're gonna get the Islanders come playoff time with Sorokin. Yeah, have fun with that one. Like,
Good luck.
Dude, it's a gauntlet. Like, credit to New Jersey. Like, I hope they extend Meier, and that top 6 is literally set for the next decade. But oof, that sucks for San Jose. But hey, they're losing a bunch. They're probably gonna get Bedard, so no one cares at the end of the day if they do.
Yeah, well, we lost Jack Johnson, so we're not doing any more winning. So I wouldn't be.
We're gonna keep winning, actually.
Big Ben Harper's on the way. No need to fear.
Nobody's gonna score from the point or in transition.
In transition and
they're gonna get another.
God, he's just like you in 3.
We're gonna give him Kara for Ben Harper.
Sorry.
We're gonna give him Kara for Ben Harper.
There you go. That's a
Ben Harper channels his inner Pierce Stevenson and 3's eliminated.
Yeah, shoots from the
What a clapper from center ice from Harper. It's in.
Wow. So, looking at the East is loading up. So Boston is far and away the best team, not only in the East but in the NHL.
But guys, they had the 3-game losing streak that last time.
Oh no! What were you saying last podcast? By the way, we saw Linus Ullmark's, or we didn't see it, but like we saw the tweets of him scoring a goal while we were doing the podcast, and then Schmitty brought up the tweet. It's like, did the Boston Bruins really need more good things this season?
You got enough going for him, man. Yeah. Like, and they just got Orlov, and like their defensive core is the best in hockey right now. I think. Like, the fact that you could rock Orlov forward or like Orlov Carlo as your third pair, that's a problem.
That's
and like Hampus Lindholm's having a career year. Like,
that's weird. I thought they traded Connor Clifton though. Ha 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 ha.
Oh,
I miss
their left side is like I think it's Lindholm, Orloff, and Grzelcyk. Oh no, and Derek Forbert's the seventh defenseman.
Oh,
And then the right side, I think it's
and Mike Riley doesn't crack the lineup.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What a
And
shit.
then
They are
it's
just
McAvoy,
loaded.
Carlo, and Clifton. Like that's gross. That's nasty.
But they're loaded in the way of like they can get an injury or two and be fine, which is something that not a lot of teams can say nowadays. Because
No, you gotta have 10 defensemen at least, like capable defensemen, if you want to go on a deep playoff run.
like I saw someone saying like, oh well, the Leafs are carrying 9 NHL defensemen right now, and like part of me was like, good.
Yeah,
Because
that's a
someone-
good thing.
If someone gets hurt, like it's a nice thing to have Jordy Ben in the back door just in case you need him, or like Justin Hull in the back
Dude.
door in case you need him.
Look at the Avalanche. last
Jimmy's
year.
like, get him out of here. He's never leaving, Jimmy.
I want that man to deliver my door.
He's literally going to be on the top pair.
Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy.
I don't know where you're like, dude. Sheldon's still the coach. He's not leaving.
I
the team
know.
this year.
Do I agree with that? No.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'd rather deal with Justin. I don't know. I'm not going to go that far. All I'm saying is I see why he'd rather have Justin Hull in the lineup over Connor Timmins some nights. That's all I'm going to say.
It's fair.
Because that's where it's at right now. And I understand. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. And,
But yeah, now they got McCabe. So now it should by theory, him out of the lineup. But in reality, it'll be Sandine sitting in the press box. So
But if Justin Hall is causing you to lose a playoff series, like if that's your
there's a
problem,
bigger problem at hand.
there's
oh
bigger-
no, I just don't want to watch him play.
Well,
But he's so much fun.
he sure is.
Did you see that pass he had last night?
There's definitely a lot that happens with him on the ice.
Did you see that pass he had that one time, Jimmy? Come on. Martin
Yeah,
Marincin-esque.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, man. Look at how far the Leafs defense has come. They used to put Ron Hainsey and Martin Marincin in the top
Dude,
four.
Nikita Zaitsev, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, now they put Justin Hull.
Dude,
People
they
will try to
had
tell you the
Cody-
Leafs defense is bad. Like,
Their
buddy,
right
it's come a
side
long way.
with Tyson Berry and Cody Ceci for 1 year.
Your
You
big
wonder
minute
why.
eater is not Jake Gardner anymore.
Yay, we took the shit and we cleaned it off. Now it's just shit.
Are you
come
calling
along.
Jake McCabe shit?
No, I'm calling Justin Hull.
Are you calling Connor Timmins shit?
Yes.
Huh?
No, he's calling TJ Brody shit, clearly.
No, that's my boy.
Or the guy who's now leads the NHL in block shots of all time, Mark Giordano.
Can't believe Mark Giordano has a fellow.
Yeah, Mark Giordano.
Yeah.
Mark
So-
Giordano.
Hey, Mikey
Patrick
Dano,
Mahomes.
come on.
Hey, come on!
Come on,
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But yeah, look at going back to the whole, you got to have a bunch of defensemen discussion to win a cup. Look at the Avalanche last year. Oh no, we lost Sam Girard. Oh yeah, we'll just put Bowen Byram. We'll get Jack Johnson to come in. We'll have Ryan Murray as our 7th defenseman. Oh no.
Sam Girard would be like top 2 on the Leafs. God damn it.
Yeah.
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 Whatever, sorry. That's an intrusive thought I should have let stay in there.
Who's going to be the first West team to make a giant move?
Well, Vegas, because they got Arvin Barbashev, clearly. Even though I do think Vegas is
Well,
still
they already
big game
made
hunting.
it.
Like,
They already made it. It is.
they're
Barbashev.
sniffing around JVR. They're sniffing around Brock Besser. Like, I think they're still
I
going to
like
make one more.
Brock Besser with them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do not know. I like JVR as a person, as a player, but that can't be your big.
Well, it
head.
sounds like JVR to the Wild's picking up speed. So, like, I read something about that earlier today. It'd be like Greenway
JVR
going
to
the other way or
Wild
something.
makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
All for another first-round exit.
Against the Avs again.
Yeah.
Or
Favorite
someone.
thing was
I know it's probably Winnipeg.
like I think we talked
Either way.
but Wild and Leafs playing and just seeing all over my timeline Leafs fans going, oh god, we have to watch Wild hockey again? What the fuck is this? They even score boringly. And I'm
See, like they say that, but then they're gonna lose to a team like the Wild in the playoffs, and then it's
oh
just
no,
like,
they will. there's some truth to it. The Minnesota
Oh,
Wild
it's true to it, but, like-
style of hockey.
he could win a lot more than lose than playing that way. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know if Minnesota's done that too much though. I would, you know what, you have a point, but definitely not Minnesota. What is the team that does it well? What's the hack and whack team that does it well?
No,
Mine
also
is-
like screw Minnesota because they're like screwing up the tank. Like Columbus was up 2-0 in the third, and Kirill Kaprizov is like, let me just get a natural hat trick real quick and win.
Yeah, what the
Like,
fuck was
you
that?
cannot do that. Any
Honestly,
other game.
So selfish of him.
So selfish of him to
Not the
win a
football
hockey game
part.
for his team.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Honestly.
Think of the bigger picture.
Send him back to Russia,
Oh
honestly.
my God.
I paid that goalie damn well to lose that game. Look what it gets me.
You spit in my face. The Dallas Stars are another interesting team that could potentially make it.
They just got Dadonov, so there's one
Yeah,
move.
that's right. They traded Gurianov.
Oh, they got Dadonov.
I mean, he's better than Gurianov. That's fine.
No, I saw this morning, like someone was showing, it was actually Spence. He was saying, like, this is, the West trade and the East trades. And I saw Dadonov, and I'm like, when the fuck did he move? And I forgot to check who it was. So now I know that. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Denny Dadonov, Dallas Star.
Yeah,
Gurianov was involved in this.
Well, yeah, it was a money move, so it was 1-for-1. Which, like, if you're just dumping Gurianov and picking up a rental, like, that's fine, because Gurianov is not going to be on this team after this year. So
No.
it was a great move. Like, I think, like, even when they were at one point talking about a Patrick Kane trade, Gurianov would have had to come the other way for money reasons anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they could make another move. Like, it'd have to get really creative, I think, with the salary.
Yeah.
Which, like, every team can. I mean,
Give us hockey.
Dude, the freaking Leafs.
The Leafs.
I'm tired of hearing GMs. Oh, we can't make moves. Like, look at what freaking Kyle Dubas just did, man.
dude, Vegas
like,
just cleared up like 15 million cap space.
Mhm.
Like
Because they wanted to.
because they want to go get Ivan Barbashev and probably
can't make
Brock
a move.
Besser.
You get a guy,
That's
you get a
fine.
Brandon Pridham guy, and you put him in a closet like Ryan, in the office, and just make him crunch the numbers and ask for the answers when you want. That's how it works, right?
Pridham just salivates when he sees a dude go on LTIR. He's like, yes, more money.
I can
Go.
use you. This will be very useful.
This will be a fine addition to my collection. $30,000 in cap space when he sent a
Joffrey
minor league player down to
IR.
the Marlies. Yeah.
Well. What do we have?
But
That's something Drake would say when he finds mice in his walls.
yeah, I don't think Dallas is gonna make another move though. I think they made their big moves like getting Lundqvist in the earlier part of the year and then
And Pete
Now they-
DeBoer.
Pete DeBoer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's working. They're
Yeah.
first in the division, I'm pretty sure. So
Mhm.
or
I told
second.
you he's cashing in his 1 or 2 years of them being really good.
Oh, goddamn right. I mean, like that team, the Stars make no sense. They have too much talent to stink anyway. So, like, yeah, they need to figure out how to win in overtime. I don't know why that's a problem still. Like, I feel like once every 2 years they have this thing where they lose like 15 overtime games. Like they did it in the bubble year too.
They got 12 overtime losses now.
Like that's the difference between
Ooh.
like you getting closer to like not saying they're gonna win the President's Trophy because that's not happening this year, but like basically locking up first in the West. Like you could make a pretty sizable gap, I'd imagine. The West is pretty lackluster to say the least.
It's like, I think it was 2018-19 where the final spot, like I think it was that year, it was like the Avalanche, the Coyotes, and the Blackhawks, and like, now you take it. No, you take the playoff spot. No, you take the playoff spot. Like, that's what it feels like again. The East is just so vastly superior to the West now when it was the other way around for like a good almost decade, I feel.
Yeah, and it's and the three teams that were running the West a decade ago are now at the bottom of the West, so that sums it up. Yeah, just abysmal in the Western Conference. But like it's gonna be hilarious because the West is so winning the cup this year. So
Oh, I know.
like, they're so winning the cup.
They're gonna beat the hell out of each other, and like whoever makes it out of the West, like,
Dude, this is the year. Oh my God, Ken Holland, get your head out of your ass.
the whole. That's
God,
the whole
I'm so
thing.
tired of this.
The whole thing, like, the Oilers are a flawed team, like, clearly, but all you need is just to get McDavid and Draisaitl decent support, and you might win a cup. You might fuck around and win a cup.
Like I feel like how many times have we said just like go get 2 Brandon Sods? Like that's all you need. Like go get 2 of those.
Hell, go get Brandon Saad himself. I'm pretty sure the Blues would like to take another first-round pick back. Freaking these
Go get
first-round
Jacob
picks.
Chikrin. Go do something. Like,
Dude, these first-round picks aren't going to help you this year. Yes, there's a point when you're early on in the process where they do help you, but you're at a point now where McDavid and Draisaitl are getting down to the final couple of years of their contract. You have to win.
and it's
you
not
win
just
more.
cap. It's not just capitalizing on the years they're having. Like we talked about it. It's the year Hyman's having. It's the year Nuge is having. Like Stuart Skinner isn't terrible in net right now. Like you need to do something. Like please.
Is there a better chance for the Oilers? They went to the conference final last year. This is their best. Like, and the West is so much more open than last year. Like, this is their best chance to win. They don't make even like a trade where I'm like, oh, I could play on their second first line, help out McDavid. Like, it's a failure. It is. And then you're gonna let the two best players to play on that franchise since Gretzky and Messier just walk for nothing because you didn't give them the help they didn't need it. And it's not even like you have to get. I mean, listen, it'd be pretty freaking cool if you got Erik Karlsson or Jacob Chikrin, but if like, just get like a Brandon Saad. Like,
Erik Karlsson was like, yeah, I don't want to fucking do that, so I'm just gonna keep playing hockey here. That's what I'm going to do.
Like, let's just talk about guys who got moved in the last couple days. They could have used a Nino Niederreiter or an Evgeny Dadonov. Like, let's just be straight up with that one. Like, players like that will move the needle for this team at this point. Like, come on.
I think Meyer would have been perfect. That's the one I if I'm an Oilers fan.
Get a pair of balls and go trade for Domi. Like Jesus, like that's the perfect fit in that top six. Imagine him and Evander Kane on the same line. Give me a break.
Biggest jackass line of all. Yeah.
Like
no, those two are the Yamamoto, and it's just 3 brain cells doing what they can.
I'm just imagining like Yamamoto sitting in between those two. Like, I don't know what to do here. I'm just gonna shove you. As like the other two are just beating the crap out of someone on the ice.
Puck? Yes. Over.
Score? No. Shoot it over the net. Got it.
No, you, me, puck. If you shoot puck.
No, but guys, Devin Shore, he scored a goal, so they're fine.
Go get Kevin
celebration. I scored a goal as an Oiler. I'm an Edmonton Oiler, and I scored a goal.
By the way, speaking of names that are on the trade block now, Nick Schmaltz's name is out there, and if any contending team is looking for a good center, go get him.
Get Nick Schmaltz, man.
Dude, Nick Schmaltz from McDavid.
Oil country.
Spicy. And I'm pretty sure Nick Schmaltz doesn't have trade protection, if I recall correctly, so he could go anywhere. Like,
literally just.
I don't know why the Coyotes would trade him, but if you get the haul you want, do it.
Mm-hmm. Tanner Jeannot, though, man. Holy shit.
I will not get over that. That might be one of the most legendary.
I think Jimmy's just mad that Cal Foot's in our division now.
No, not Cal Foot. No,
dude, it's Ryan McDonough, Cal Foot 4 games a year. Oh, no.
Oh, no. I'm not happy about this.
Cal Foot is so getting a hat trick on Saturday when he played the Preds. Oh, my God. He's so getting a hat trick.
Does Tampa play Nashville?
No, we play Nashville.
Oh,
the Blackhawks play Nashville.
Great.
I wish Tampa.
Thank God we go off to play against Tanner Jeannot. Oh
no. Jimmy, like you say this now, but Tanner Jeannot was so dropping 5 goals in round 1.
That's
I already said
not all over round.
I'm shit talking now.
All in one game.
I'm getting listen. If I don't get my shit talking in now, I'm not gonna have a chance because it's all gone after round 1. So I gotta take my jabs while I have them.
Fair enough.
Oh no!
Oh man, Tanner Jeannot, Corey Perry line about to go crazy.
Man, Corey Perry put me like
Pat Maroon got room
ending it all in 2014. I can't even imagine. Jeannot, Perry, and Belmar is gonna actually. No, it's gonna be Paul. It's gonna be Paul. Oh no! Oh no! It's gonna be Nick Paul. Oh God!
Dude, Tanner Jeannot, Nick Paul, Corey Perry, best third line.
Patrick Maroon.
Oh my God, that second power play is gonna go crazy.
It's about to pop off.
Just existential crisis. It's okay though. They got fucking Jake McCabe to counter it. Like they actually made a legit. Like Kyle Dubas was like, "I take your stupid move and make a good move. We're good."
All my overreactions, Leafs did fucking fantastic. The dread line,
best overreaction.
It's usually the dread line, but no, you look back at our episodes. Everything I said I wanted Dubas to do, he did that and more. I have no complaints whatsoever. And Nyes might fucking just jump in for the playoffs. Like, fucking great. And apparently, like, the talks are heating up about Kerfoot. So
Yeah, like Vancouver's looking at him, which I think is funny.
Of course they are.
Imagine if you guys can like snag Connor Garland retained. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Just
Luke
casually
Shen,
throw
baby.
Connor Garland in the top 6.
No, yeah, I saw
Luke Shen will help combat Tanner Jeannot for you.
It's gonna be Luke Shen for
Costello
Alex
tweeted,
Kerfoot. Stop. They're gonna get 10
Connor
defensemen on their
Garland is,
team
like,
now.
fucking- Pierce, you catch that, the fucking Toskala gif, and it's like Garland, and it's like it's one of the fucking like media gifs for the team, and it's like Garland skating, and it's electricity pulsing through him. Yeah, no, if they get Garland too, I don't even know, man. I'd be
They
through
wouldn't.
the fucking roof.
That's wishful
They
thinking, I
could.
think, but
Hmm?
that's wishful thinking on my part. But
No, I mean it's
fuck it,
not.
get Niels Hoglander.
I mean, dude, it's
Hey, I think they
exactly.
still have their 2024 first. Maybe they could trade that as well.
Room for one more.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, it's happened like, oh no, we have no 3 first-round picks for the next 3 years. How are we gonna make trade? Oh, we'll just trade our 2026 first-round pick. We'll trade our 2020. They'll keep doing this when they keep having the window open.
Mhm. And you
That's what
also
you
have
should do.
players
Yeah.
that you can trade for picks if when it comes to you not being able to resign everybody. You can trade rights, you can this, that, whatever. There's time. Like, cross the bridge when you get there. Right now, load the fuck up. They're doing that. And yeah, anything else after this is just cherries on top of the fucking cake. I'm happy. I'm very happy as a Leafs fan, which I know everybody here is so glad to hear. Yay.
Just that like 2-second pause and no one does anything. Oh goodness. What a podcast. I had a lot of
What a
fun.
podcast.
Wait, this is a podcast? Jim was like,
What a
"That
delicious
was a
podcast.
therapy
This is a
session."
hotel.
Well. So, trade deadline is on Friday. Who the hell is going to be left now? Like, this is actually been a crazy trade deadline.
Patrick Kane, knowing how this trade's gone on, like probably,
Mhm.
At
Yeah.
this rate, they're gonna trade him at like $2.59 on Friday.
probably, if we're being honest at this point. Like,
Yeah, the Rangers need that extra $450 in cap space to get him.
yeah, so they
you
could call up Jake, little stupid last name.
know? Well, Bananarama. Yeah.
Nah, but we got to see the JVR sweepstakes on Friday, and maybe Arizona finally gets the balls to make the Chikrin trade. So,
And Luke Shen, baby. The two players that were traded for each other once upon a time.
and then you can watch us all
Luke Shen.
cry as Max Domi gets traded for a second and not a first.
Third, I think.
Stop. The fact, no, what's crazy is Frank Saravalli said Max Domi doesn't have a market right now, which I think is wild.
No, that's bogus.
Hmm.
I call bogus.
Did you know
Because,
that
like,
Sidney Crosby
The guy
and
makes
Frank
3
Saravalli-
mil and he's on pace for 60 points.
If
Like,
that's
that-
really the case, then just freaking resign him. If no one
Yeah.
wants him.
for real. Like, oh no,
maybe-
I guess we'll just have to keep him.
Oh no. Maybe trade him next year. No.
No.
That really should be Kyle Davidson's next order of business. Freaking extend Domi.
Mm-hmm.
And if Athanasiou doesn't get traded, extend him too. Don't care. You need players here that want to
I
be here.
feel like I saw something today where Davidson said something along the lines of like, we didn't get these guys or we didn't sign them to just trade them away. So I feel
Yeah,
like there's a good
sure.
chance we'll
yeah.
re-sign them. But yeah, Jimmy.
Mm,
All GM talk.
Yeah.
He is right, but also
Really, Billy Bean when they're in the room talking. Oh, his dick sticks out before he gets in the room, and then he's just like, "Yeah, it's all talk, but need to see."
Gotta love a good word salad.
Mhm.
but Domi saying please.
Me reciting the whole entire encyclopedia without actually saying something of substance, like. Anyways, I think we're at about an hour right now. I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to add, or we can end this off? We'll be doing the live stream on Friday, of course, for whatever trades there are left. and we'll do a podcast before then. I don't know. Like the Kane trade's probably gonna go down in the next couple of days, but I feel everything we said last podcast stands true. Like nothing's gonna change unless he stays or they get like a first round pick at a prospect, which won't happen. Like he's going to the Rangers. It's gonna be a bad return. I think we already know this already. There's no point to do another podcast if he officially gets traded.
If you want to hear like thoughts, join the live stream on Friday.
Exactly.
Bingo.
All right. Let's end off the podcast here. Thank you for tuning in. Give us a 5-star rating on your preferred podcast platform. If you're watching our beautiful, gorgeous faces on YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you keep up to date with all the newest podcasts. And take care, everyone. Tell everyone that Tanner Jeannot is a Tampa Bay Lightning.